Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on my CRF 150R engine, and I want to focus on getting rid of the anodization on like the plugs and some of the fill ports. I've also got down here just a couple other parts that I want to get rid of the anodization. I got the axle sliders, the big brake caliper bracket, and then I've got the engine mounts that I did a bunch of cleanup work on a cleaning wheel, but I couldn't get into some of these little crevices. And I want to go back and polish these again, but see if I can get rid of all this anodization using some drain cleaner. Alright, so I know I'm a little safety third on this channel, but this lye will mess you up. So you don't want it on your skin, you don't want to swallow it, you definitely don't want it in your eyes, and you don't want to breathe any of the vapors that's coming off of it. Not saying that you should do this. This is your warning. This stuff is gnarly. If you do get it on you, run it under some cold water and just keep flushing that out. Don't put the vinegar on. Vinegar is for the parts. Put the vinegar on your skin, it's going to hurt. I'm also not suggesting that you should do this yourself. I just really want this anodization off of these parts so that it looks a little bit better. It's purely aesthetic. Alright, for my setup, I've got gloves on as well as safety glasses. I've got some crystal lye here, a container of cold water, a cup of vinegar to neutralize the lime, and then a cup of water to dip the parts in and wash them off and dry them after they've been through the whole cycle. I also have a hanger here with just a safety wire so I can just hang the parts in there. And I think that's about everything I need. I am in a well-ventilated garage, so don't do this inside. It's going to put off some fumes. This is also an exothermic reaction. When I put the lye into this cold water, it'll start heating up. If you use hot water, it's going to start off-gassing a lot faster than if you use cold water and a little bit of lye. I'm going to start with a small amount and work my way up versus dumping a whole bunch in and having just an awful reaction. I think I want to go ahead and start with an axle block first. It's not really noticeable, so if I leave it in a little bit too long and burn the aluminum, you won't really notice. So if it starts turning black, pull it out immediately. It's in there too long. You just kind of want to sit it in there long enough to get rid of the color. So the directions on the lye call for a heaping tablespoon for a sink. So since we're doing it in a small little cup, I'm going to go for just a tiny amount here. That's like maybe a teaspoon. Give that a stir. Let's see how. Oh. There we go. That should just sit in there nicely. Alright, so the part's been in here for about 5 minutes. I don't see any difference on the surface, and there's no coloring in the solution. So I'm going to pour a little bit more in. Still not hot to the touch by any means, so got a little thermal headroom there. Alright, we're around about 10 minutes in, and you can see just a little bit of the top is lightening here, but it is still fairly coated. Oh, would you look at that? Just wiped right off. Let's see if we can use a brush to just scrub it. Yeah, check that out. It's coming right off. Alright, so I popped in significantly more lye on this one, probably about a full tablespoon, which probably a big mistake. You can see it's off-gassing. I've got the door open and waving away the fumes, but let's get this out of here real quick. Took off almost all of the anodizing within probably about 20 minutes. I'd say that's significantly better than the first attempt. There's still a little bit in those inner circles, and I think that's because there was grease trapped in there. But overall, that did the trick. I'll clean this up on the cleaning wheel as well. This is what the lye solution looks like now after all the red anodizing came off. Not too shabby. Meanwhile, I'm going to stick the caliper bracket in there. It's just resting on the bottom. We'll probably have to flip it over. This bracket came out almost completely stripped. I just had to flip it around to get the top side. Let's get that neutralized. Let's take this for a quick spin on the cleaning wheel. Now this, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So these are all the parts that I took the anodizing off of. I think they all came out fairly decent. Did hit them with the cleaning wheel, so it took away a lot of imperfections and left it with like a nice brushed aluminum finish. So thanks for hanging out with me in the garage. Had no idea how this was going to turn out, and I'm pretty pleased with the results. Let me know in the comments if you would do anything differently or if you've done this before and you've got a different setup, because always learning and love to figure out how to make this like a nice, efficient process. So, thanks for hanging out with me in the garage. I'll see you on the next one.